Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is your boy James from What's Your Forte, and today we are going to be installing the carbon front corners on my G80 M3. I got this carbon from 22 Tuning. As y'all know, I've been using them for some of the carbon on the car, and I will be linking it down below in case you do like these carbon front corners, all right? So let's go ahead. Matter of fact, before I go ahead and get into the video, y'all see this What's Your Forte beanie? Helps keep my head warm. If you're looking for one of those, I'll be linking it down below. Very good price, keeps your head warm in this cold weather, all right? So let's go ahead and get to the install. All right, everyone, so this is what the carbon front corners look like here. And as you can see right there, it is a very nice carbon piece. Right there, the carbon on it looks good. I've already ceramic coated it, so it looks really, really good to my eye. And there's gonna be two of them. And just in case you don't know what they're replacing, they're gonna be replacing these little corner pieces right here. So right now they come stock in gloss black, and we're gonna be replacing it with carbon to kind of flow with the carbon there. And then I know y'all seen the Voigtsteiner grills. There's also gonna be some other companies making grills. So stay tuned to see if I'll be swapping the grills out. I haven't made a decision yet, but I might, I don't know, we'll see. And then you see the front inlets there, which are also 22 tuning. And then I'm also gonna be swapping that out. And that will go well for those of us that may not want to rock a front lip because you don't want it to crack, or if you just want the rest of the car to be carbon to match the rest of the carbon and not the gloss black, you'll have this option. So let's go ahead and get to the install and let's see how hard it is. All right, everyone, so before we begin the video, I want to kind of give you some behind the scenes. So I already installed one side of the carbon front corners, as you guys can see right there. Fitment is spot on. These are full carbon, not ABS plastic over carbon. Not one ABS, not carbon over ABS plastic. These are full carbon replacements. As you can see, fitment is really good. Now, just being honest, this install was not easy, only because of the placement of the bolts. So when you get into the install, I'll show you why and what I'm talking about. But I would recommend, if you're gonna go ahead and do the inlets, go ahead and get these pieces and do them at the same time. It'll save yourself a lot of pain, a lot of like plastic cuts on your hand and stuff. Cause definitely wasn't an easy install without taking the front bumper off. Taking the front bumper off just makes it a lot easier. You can do it without it if you have like an extra hand and stuff, but just doing it by yourself is a little challenging, just only because of the placement of some of the bolts. Well, let's go ahead and get to the install. All right, everyone, so as you see, got the car set up. So the first thing you wanna do is go ahead and loosen the lug nuts that are on your wheel, because we got to take the wheel off. So I always like to loosen them on the ground, because you can use the ground as like a so you can leverage against and take the wheels off. So that's what we're about to do now. So I just got a breaker bar and a 19mm socket right here, and this socket is designed specifically for wheels. It's thin walled. It did have a protection cover on it, but with the protection cover, it won't actually slide in there correctly. So I think I got all of them loose. I always like to double check before I get the car lifted. And all of them feel loose. This one can use a few more turns. All right, so they're all loose. So now I'm gonna go ahead and jack the car up, and then I can take this off. Now I'm just gonna jack the car up. Just need to get it high enough so we could take the wheel off. You don't need to go too high. Now I'm just gonna take the wheel off. I always like to grab the wheel from the top and bottom so I can grab it kind of evenly like this. So pull it straight off, lay it over to the side. All right, so I'm just gonna show you guys exactly what I'm gonna do right now. So we're gonna remove this fender liner. You probably can leave maybe one hooked up, but I'm gonna go ahead and just remove these bolts here that are in the fender liner, just so I can get back here on this side here, because this is the main focus. So I just removed this just to give me more room to work behind here, because you're gonna have to maneuver some stuff to get it to work correctly on this side. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. Got some bolts right there. They should be 10 millimeter. If you do have the skid plate like I have, you do have these Turner, I think they're 8 millimeter, what are these bolts called? These 8 millimeter like hex bolts like this right here. I think this is 8 millimeter, let me double check. 4 millimeter, sorry, 4 millimeter hex bolts like this. You will need to use for like the Turner skid plate. If you have something like that on any other aftermarket plate you may have down here, just use those screws that you need to remove those. But that's what I'm gonna go ahead and do now. And actually, while we're back here, this would be a good time to clean out this air duct. So this is the brake air duct. So I just pop it, go in there, pop it out. And as y'all guys can see, I'm getting in there a little bit. There's some leaves right in there. So just get in there, clean those leaves out. And then I can put the air duct back. It just kind of goes up. Do I have it backwards? I do have it backwards. There we go. Just kind of want to go up, put it back in there. There you go. So that goes in there. You're good to go. So now, like I said, we're going to do, go ahead and get these bolts and screws taken care of. All right, so this is all you really need to remove. You don't need to remove all of them, but most of them. Just needed to get it to bend back a little bit and out of the way so you can get access to what you need to in order to remove this piece at the bottom. All right, so underneath you have a screw right here. This is like a pin, like a plastic pin, so you need to get it underneath there and pull it out. This is a screw, pin, screw, another pin, kind of like right there. So you will need to remove all these, just the ones that are connected to this actual corner piece here. You don't have to go all the way down here on the front end, just the ones that are connected right here. Just remove those, because you'll need to remove those in order to get this corner piece off. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. All right, everyone, so I want you to see the actual bolt that's holding it in, because once you get everything underneath loose, there's only one more bolt holding this piece in, the corner piece, and it's this bolt right here. So I'm gonna pull, if you pull the bumper, you can kind of see this bolt that's right there. So that is the bolt that's holding this last part in on the corner piece. So I've seen where some people, if you have probably someone pulling hard enough that way, someone pulling hard enough that way, you can get access to it. What I had to do when I was doing it by myself was I'm gonna have to loosen up a bolt at the top here to remove just the bumper from the front fender. And then I get enough room where I can get in there. So I will brace this side with like a plastic trim tool to kind of hold it that way. And I will kind of pull that way with one hand and then unscrew with the other hand. So this is the technical part that's kind of very difficult to access and get. That's why I said if you're gonna do the actual air ducts, sorry about the dogs in the background, but if you're gonna do the actual air ducts, I would say do this corner piece when you do the air ducts. Just makes it a lot easier because you're already gonna have the bumper off anyway. So all this will be a lot easier to access. But on the car, you will have to do it the way I just stated. So there's a part up here that you have to loosen from the actual bumper. Actually, let me just show you, move the camera. So kind of up in this area, right up in here, you're gonna see, let me go a little higher. So right here, there's gonna be a screw right here and a screw on the back end that you can loosen to actually remove this part from the top fender, and then you'll get access to actually bend this a little more so you can get more access to the bolt down here. That's the way I figured it out. If you have a better way, or if you figured out another way to do it, please let me know down in the comments below. So that's what I'm gonna go ahead and do now. I'm gonna try my best to capture all on camera, but I did want to show you a close-up of everything that's going on. All right, so the screws, one is right here, the other one is back here, and you also need to remove this screw that I'm pointing to right there. Then you'll be able to have access to move this bumper right here. So that's what I'm doing right now. All right, everyone, so this is the part you just have to move right there. As you guys can kind of see, give you a different view, what you have to move just to get the access to move this bumper like this. So now, if we go back down to where this piece is at, as you look right there, as I pull, I have access to get to the bolt. So kind of have access right there to get to it. So this is why I was saying putting like a trim tool in here to wedge this part this way. You can pull the bumper the opposite way, and then you'll have access. Let me turn the brightness up a little bit. You'll have access to get down in there. So this is always the tricky part when doing this install. So let me go ahead and get set up, and then I'll be back to show you guys what I need to do. All right, everyone, so I'm kind of going to show you what I had to do. As you see, I got one trim tool down here pushing this plastic piece away, another trim tool pushing up and out, and then I got my driver right there. This is an 8mm screw that I have right here. So now, as you guys can kind of see how you have to set this up, it is very painful, but it gets the job done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and unscrew this, and then I'll come back and show you how to actually pull the front corner piece off. All right. All right, everyone. So now that the screws and everything is out, you can see it's kind of loose. I can move it a little bit right here. So this is going to feel weird. You kind of have to pull it that way towards the front of the car, pull it out. It's just the way that it is in. You can see in the back where it's actually hooked to the actual back of the bumper. It's just some little inserts. So you just kind of have to work your way and kind of pull it. But you want to make sure you're only pulling this black part. As you see right here, it's already starting to come out. And then boom, you just kind of pull it straight out like that. And then, yeah, come straight out. So this is the stock one. I'm gonna grab a rag. Actually, I got one right over here just to wipe off all this little dust. It's amazing how much dust actually gets caught in on the front of your bumper. Thank you. You know, so just wiping that down there. And this is actually plastic, kind of, you know, gray plastic right underneath here. And now it's time to apply the actual aftermarket carbon piece. All right, everyone, so here is the carbon piece from 22 Tuning. As you can see right here, it's a nice gloss shine. I did ceramic this beforehand, so that's why you're getting that nice gloss on it already. And this is pure carbon. This isn't carbon over plastic. Seems that the pure carbon stuff fits a lot better than the carbon over plastic. So before you put this on, you're gonna need to put on this clip right here. So kind of show you guys right there. There's a hole. That's that 8mm screw that gave us so much pain. You gotta take the clip off the stock unit. So let me grab the stock one. So this is the stock one. Should have this clip on it right here. Just kind of want to pull that off. And then you want to attach that to the aftermarket unit. So this slides right on right there. As you guys can see, slides right on. And then you want to take this, boom, slides right into place. Super simple, super easy, fits good. Fitment on it looks really good. Now we're gonna have to put that 8mm screw back into here that gave us a lot of trouble. And then once I get that in, then I'll be back and show you what the final product looks like before I put back in on any of the fender liner. All right, everyone, so it is back in. Everything's in. So now what I'm gonna do is go ahead and go underneath this carbon piece right here and attach it back to this underneath paneling or skid plate. If you have a skid plate or the underneath paneling, go ahead and get that attached. Then make sure everything's secure, and then we'll start reversing the process, putting everything back together. All right, everyone, so there it is installed, man. It fits perfectly, fits good, no issues. Everything underneath is connected, no issues. And I'm pulling on it and it ain't going nowhere. So I haven't hooked up the top fender piece yet, but once I do that, then this will fall a little bit more in place right there, and then we'll be good to go. But yeah, man, so that is it. Like I said, it'll be a lot easier if you took the bumper off, but it can be done with the bumper on. You just have to, it will definitely help if you have an extra hand. If not, then you have to use some trim tools to kind of hold the plastic out the way. But definitely can be done. Definitely like the way it looks. And let me go ahead and get everything back together. All right, everything is back in, no issues. Everything seems to fit very well, tight. We are good to go, man. So now I'm gonna go ahead and put the wheel back on. Then I'll bring y'all some cinematics. Then we'll be able to end this video.